We're going to write the domain in the range of this function, this graph here, in interval notation and determine if it's a function or not. Okay, so domain left to right. Now notice that this graph goes all the way to the edge of the grid, so I'm supposed to assume that it keeps going to the left and it keeps going upwards as well. Okay, since it keeps going to the left, I know that it's going all the way to negative infinity. Negative infinity, that's pretty easy. And then, as I get further and further upwards, it's getting wider and wider. It's getting further away from the y-axis. So even though, say at this point, I don't see anything on the graph, if I go up high enough, I would. So that would be all the way to positive infinity, all real numbers. For the range, okay, from bottom to top. Now notice, let me get this eraser back up over here. On the range, this part of the graph right here is not actually crossing the x-axis. Let me switch colors here. Make it green. Here we go. We're going to learn in the future that this thing is called an asymptote, and it's just getting closer and closer to the x-axis, but it's never actually crossing it. Okay? So that means that we're going to start at 0, at y equals 0, but it's not going to include 0. It's just going to get a parenthesis. And then all the way up to infinity, because it has an arrow on that end going upwards, so up to infinity. Is this thing a function? Well, sure, because it passes the vertical line test, so yes.